Adrien Broner. We got to talk.
Jabbing him up, and down goes Broner! A straight left hand, and Broner got deposited on the canvas!
Yes.
He's hurt.
He's hurt.
And he drops his mouthpiece.
You don't go after that's that Mike. Let them.
What's good? MikeO from Let's Talk About It. Hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate the support. So, like I said, AB, we got to talk. You know, you had this fight against Blair Cobbs, and I got to be honest. I mean, I was highly disappointed in your performance. You got dominated. You know, if you know anything about Adrien Broner, in my opinion, that he will lose to the aggressive fighter. You know, Maidana came straight at him, which is one of the reasons why he won the fight in such a dominant fashion. Now, I will say, you know, I got to give Tank Davis, and I feel like Broner should give Tank Davis props, which he has already, for, you know, showing some support, getting him motivated, had him losing weight. And I will say that Broner visibly lost weight, but he didn't look in shape, if that makes sense. You know, he lost the weight, but he didn't look as cut as he should have looked, in my opinion, which probably means that he's wasn't 100% dedicated to boxing. I think getting back in shape was the first step. And, you know, maybe he bit off too much more than he can chew from jumping in the ring right away. Maybe he needed more time out there to polish himself and become a better boxer. Personally, I think that, you know, Broner's biggest problem is that I think he's naturally gifted to be a good boxer. He's naturally gifted to be a good boxer, but he doesn't have the discipline to be a great boxer, if that makes sense. You know, I think that if he had the dedication that, you know, a Mayweather, you know, had, or a Bud Crawford, you know, a fighter like that, a Canelo, that maybe, you know, he would probably be a higher tier fighter. You know, but I think he's a tier 3 fighter, and I think he had moments at being a tier 2 fighter. And I think part of his issue, you know, is having the ability to make weight. You know, I think that when he was in the 135-pound range, he had power. You know, he was able to make weight at that weight class, and he dominated. But when he had to move up in weight class, you know, when he started trying to fight at welter, you know, at 147 is when he started really getting exposed, because bigger boxers had more power. So, you know, when I look at this fight, you know, I was going into the fight, I thought that this would have been a nice pivotal moment for Broner, to where he wins this fight, he can move on to bigger things. And I think that they even tried to handpick an opponent that he can beat. But I think the issue was that second round, of course. You know, he caught that left hook, you know, knocked the tooth out. And this is all coming, you know, after, you know, he made the comments pretty much threatening that man's life. You know, and then you get mollywopped like this for the entire fight. You know, I felt bad. I really felt bad for AB, and I've never been a huge fan of him. He was a little too arrogant for me, and after Maidana exposed him, it was, you know, it's pretty much a wrap for him. But I thought that, you know, again, I thought that Tank brought something out in him, and I think it did, but just not enough. You know, I don't think Broner wants to box anymore. You know, I think that he wants to rap, you know, or, you know, talk to the slick pimp talk or whatever he do, you know, on Instagram that I see all the time. But I don't think he really wants to box. And it's just too bad, because I think he had potential, you know, to be great, but he didn't want to put in the work. And you see that from so many fighters. You see that from so many athletes on so many different, you know, genres of sports. You know, you could say that about any player in any sport, if they would have had the work ethic, they would have been a monster. So you may ask, what would this mean to Blair or for Blair Cobbs? And I don't really know what it would mean. I don't think that he will now get a fight for a title, or, maybe he gets a more competitive fighter, and, we can really measure to see how good or bad Cobbs is. Now, for Broner, I think his career is pretty much done. Who can you put in front of him that would even look like a decent fight? There's the one thing about him is that he has nothing really to offer from a level of excitement. And what I mean by that is, I think Wilder's career is over with. However, I could see Wilder going up against some fighter, and because he has that right hand that he can always, people always would want to see that excitement from him to where he could potentially knock someone out. That may be enough for people to watch to see him with that right hand. But Broner doesn't have that. He maybe can talk a good game in the, the face-off and the press conferences and all that. But when it comes to these, that I don't know if he can show improve, or if he can bring anything worth of any type of excitement. I don't think he can do that. And I'm going to say one last time that Broner's biggest issue in his career is that he had the talent to be good. He had the natural talent to be good, but lacked the discipline to be great. You guys let me know what you think. Do you want to see AB fight again? Do you think that he should retire? Is there anybody that you would want to see him face? And same goes for Cobbs. What do you think is next for him? Was him beating Broner a step up to where he now should get put on an upper echelon? If you say yes, you're crazy, but I want to hear anyway. And again, please like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, I am out.